Welcome to Strictly Reality.
We're your hosts, Liz and Shev,
And every week we break down the biggest fights,
the soft launch romances,
the chaotic alliances,
the producer plans.
and all the moments that made you yell at your TV.
So grab your snacks, silence your notifications, and get ready for another episode of
Strictly Reality. All right,
Okay,
let's get into it.
let's get into it.
Season 12, episode 5. Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
yes. Oh my gosh, the aftermath of Toya. I think that's an appropriate, I would say.
That's very appropriate. That's very appropriate. I feel like a lot of this was just a continuation. We started with Mimi going over Brandy's house. We kind of got to see their dynamic, and Angel came over too. All the
Yes,
kids were together, a play
yes,
date.
yeah.
Hmm.
But before we get into that, how do you feel about Eugene's apology? The night, what is it? The exact day after, he took. How do you feel? I want to hear it. Like, how do you feel about his apology?
Okay, so I have more feelings towards Toya's apology than towards his apology because I honestly don't feel like she was owed as much of an apology as she received from him.
And as she expected, clearly she expected him to grovel.
Yes, I was like, okay, so where's the accountability on your part? Like you just went through this whole ordeal, you embarrassed him in public, you got called out, got in your feelings, and
Girl.
then you expect him to, you're right, grovel.
Yeah. And to make it worse, it's now you're creating a pattern that even he can't ignore. You've created a pattern of publicly embarrassing this man, and he's definitely feeling the sting of it. I think a lot of the episode really touched on that, right? It carried through in different
Yes,
scenes, just like, whoa, it's like she's crossing a line, but it seems like she's crossed it before. But she's crossing a line, and her husband is, clearly he's becoming the butt of some conversations.
everyone's joke, everyone was talking about it, just different scenarios, whether they were there or they weren't there, they were the topic of discussion. This episode revolved around last episode's, ordeal at their
Yeah,
home.
yeah. And
Hmm.
Toya seems to be just like, it's just like maybe it's because it just happened. Maybe because, this incident happened the night prior. She's still feeling defensive and she's still deflecting, and, the women are the issue, and, they come and are attacking her marriage, which is kind of coming out of no. I'm sure I feel like she has felt this way before, like not supporting her marriage for whatever reason. But it's just kind of convenient that you lash out on your husband, and then your defense now is, oh yeah, you don't support my marriage.
Exactly. When it should be like, hold on, let me reflect and figure out why I just yelled and demeaned my partner on national television and then expected him to grovel and, just take my side through it all. And he actually did, which
He
I
did.
felt bad for him in that moment. They're
He
playing
did.
pool. It's
He's
like
trying.
yeah, they're playing pool and he's like taking out each ball. He was like, I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for the, and it's just like,
And he's like,
what?
yeah, and he's like, what are you sorry for? And it's like it's paining her to even come out with something, and then she's like throwing those what is it, pool balls on the table. Like the aggression is so palatable. It's like she's upset. She's still really upset, but it's like I don't know if it's a I'm embarrassed upset, and so instead of internalizing it, just I'm just gonna like push it out and just try to find like a more palatable home for her anger. But I think it might be an embarrassed anger that she's deflecting from.
It could be, but it seems so natural for her to just not take any accountability. I'm not sure if it's embarrassment because I feel like it just comes, she's treating him like this constantly. So I'm like, you're getting called out. A lot of people have said before, hey, you need to kind of watch how you talk to your spouse. Even later on in the episode, the guys are talking about how she talks to him. And it's like they've been with them for years. They've been filming this show for years. They've been in the friend circle for a long time. And for them to bring it up in that way, and it's like, this is not a one-off thing. This has been mounting, over time. So I'm like, goodness, if you're embarrassed, you need to stop the behavior.
Oh my gosh. And the clips didn't help. So bravo, the producers.
Yeah, they will put a chain together really quick.
Strategically inserted all the right clips to show the different times she's disrespected her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Man, throwing food at him, telling him to, shut up pretty much, just being disrespectful, right? And
Yeah.
Eugene very much just, he probably brings it up in private, but is now blowing up in public. So he's doing the right thing. I have to agree with the way he's like, in terms of like how he's reacting to it in the moment. He's not creating a scene or adding to the scene, right? But at the same time, it's not solving an issue. It seems like it's escalating.
Exactly. And where is the respect for yourself at some point? For you to deal with all of this, for them to be making fun of you, the whole group is making fun of you, and your wife is telling you, be a man, be a leader. And it's
That's
like,
emasculating. That is emasculating.
where's the respect? And then you have two sons, and you're supposed to be like showing them how a partner is supposed to treat them, how you're supposed to treat a partner, and like just being that role model for them. I don't see like where he's showing them a man that stands up for himself, or a man that has like self-worth. I don't know. I'm just wondering where that part is because I haven't seen it yet. And with that apology, it just showed me that they're going to continue to have these types of issues because she didn't take any accountability, and then he took over accountability for what he did when I don't even think what he
Agreed.
did was that wrong.
I think
So,
he took over accountability. I have to agree with that what you're saying. Because
mhm,
it was like he wanted peace. I think that's the ultimate. So I think in
mm,
marriage,
mhm,
right, it's like the goal is to come to not fight each other, but fight the problem, tackle the problem. And I think that is where his head is at, right? The
yes.
goal is to continue to have a cohesive family unit and not have internal battles. So he will fall on the sword. He will apologize. He will do what needs to be done, even if it, you don't, you ever, do you want to be right or be at peace? And he would
Mhm.
rather be at peace. And I love that. I think that's very healthy.
Well, okay, so I love that. I love that as far as it being a common theme that you want your marriage to be peaceful and you want to tackle the problem and not, go at each other. But I think that it just takes a partnership to do that. Like it takes both people being willing to be on the same page. We're both going to tackle the problem. And she's not on that wavelength. Like she's like, I'm going to tackle you. I'm going to, come after you. I'm not going to come after the problem, or I'm going to come after other people and blame them for the problem.
Yeah.
Like she's always blaming somebody else for the issues that surface within their marriage that she exposes to the public. So, I wish, I love that for him. I love that he's on that, wanting peace in the home, that ticket. That's amazing. But it's like both of them need to be on the same page. And it just seems like
Yeah.
they're not right now.
Yeah. It needs to be both parties having the aim of peace, not just one, then overcompensating and then resentment and whatever else grows out of that.
Right, right. And who knows what he's thinking? I mean, usually people that try to keep the peace all the time and they never stand up for themselves, you're right. Like that resentment can grow or something can, just trigger them at some point and they're just like, you just don't know what's going to happen. So
Yeah. Yeah. But oh my goodness, Toya, I'm just so you remember I said Toya was like my favorite cast member.
I
I
do,
said
I
it really
do.
early on too.
Really confidently.
Really confidently. I was like, she's my favorite. She's in her like this era, and I just love it, the confidence. But now I'm just seeing, I'm seeing another side of it. It's like a side that is a little self-destructive, maybe a lot. self-destructive, and then it's like focused on the wrong things. Why are you so focused on material, like material wealth and material goods and these temporary like sugar rush of happiness? Like they just that burns off so fast. You go to the Gucci store and you buy the bag you want and you're so excited and it's like an amazing experience, and then it's a regular bag like weeks later, right? It's just
Right. Right. And then you shame people for not having what you have. And it's like, not everyone prioritizes purses. Some
no.
people actually do prioritize, property or like investments or businesses, they prioritize that over Birkins. I just don't feel
Yeah.
like that should be the motivation out of every conversation, you're looking to diminish someone because they don't have like what you have material wise.
Right.
So, I don't know. I feel like she's very materialistic this season.
Yes, 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 yes. I think Heavenly got her, like stung her really well
She
on
did.
that
She
point.
did. She did.
Where's the college fund? Where's the portfolio? Where's the properties?
I was actually like, okay, Heavenly, I was thinking the same thing because I'm just wondering why are you so attached to purses? And I feel like we've been having the purse conversation for like the past 4 episodes. So to have it come back up again, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
right. Like, is this where you find your joy? Like
Obviously, yeah,
starting
it's
to
like
see like this is your main source of joy. Like Prada, Gucci, it seems like luxury
yeah.
items get her going, but there's so much more. There has to be more. There has to be more.
Yeah. And that's what Dr. Mimi called out, like so we get to the point where they go over Brandy's house. It's Angel, Mimi, and they're at Brandy's house and the kids are there, they're
Yeah.
all having fun or whatever. And Mimi's talking to them and she's telling them about how Toya is just, out of hand. And she was like,
Hmm.
she's deflecting and she's trying to make everyone else the scapegoat when she needs to fix the problems in her own marriage.
Right.
And, I thought that that was interesting for her to call her out in that way because number one, I know it's going to get back to the other girls.
Oh yeah.
So, Mimi better be ready for that smoke because Toy is
Uh-huh.
going to start coming after her, and then those two are going to butt heads. So
Mhm.
they've already started butting heads. It's Toya versus Mimi. And I didn't even remember her calling out Brandy on the last episode. But apparently she called out Brandy, Mimi, and Heavenly.
Yeah.
I only remembered Mimi and Heavenly because those were the most vocal, but I thought that was interesting for her to call her out like that.
Yeah, it was I think she must have just looked around real quick and was like, "Oh, Brandy." And threw Brandy's name because she was like, "That was a stray. There was no reason."
Like, what did Brandy do? Like, I don't even remember Brandy saying anything.
Yeah, that was random. I think she was like heated. She was just like needed to make a point, but she didn't quite make the point. But girl, it was nice seeing Brandy though, and seeing Angel, and seeing a little bit of their personal life. So Brandy having her 4 kids, and they were there. Mimi brought her daughter, and I didn't know Angel had kids as well.
I didn't know that either.
I learned her name this episode.
Yes. I think now it's like this was the first episode where we actually got to see like a part of her storyline,
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
it was very short.
Right.
Like it was limited to that moment when she was at Brandy's home, but it was still like okay, now we kind of get to see a little bit into her life and we get to meet her children. She has a 5-year-old and like a 16-year-old.
Hmm.
And yeah, I thought that was nice to see her in another element, besides being the friend of someone else.
True, true. But I feel like they gave her a space to say more, but maybe she's not used to recording or being on camera. They were like, okay, what kind of guy are you looking for? Like, and she just wasn't able to kind of produce it. But maybe she's also, well, she said she's ready to date, so she should know what she wants.
Yeah, she said that who was going to hook her up with the doctor?
Toya.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe in the future episodes we'll see that connection made or something like that.
And you never
Um,
know where you found the love of your life. You remember Kim Zolciak from the
yes,
Housewives of
yes.
Atlanta?
Didn't she find out like some charity ball or whatever she
Mhm.
found Croy? Well, I
Right.
don't know if it's the love of her life. Unfortunately, that didn't
Right, but
work
he was the
out,
love
but
of her life for over 10 years.
that's
Like,
true.
so,
That's
hey,
true.
you can get something out of it. Oh my
Yes, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I think that Brandy's growing on me and Mimi is growing on me too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I've liked Mimi, I think, for a while, but it was like, okay, I'm looking forward to seeing more of her.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that she's not afraid to call out Toya. But I don't know what else she has going on. I know about like, her son and how she's dealing with her marriage and her children and her family and things like that. But I feel like she does try to psychoanalyze people.
Mm.
So I don't know how far that's going to go, but it just seems like she attaches people with different names. Like she'll say, oh, this person is deflecting, or this person is being manipulative, or this person is doing
Mm.
XYZ. Like she tries to attach like characteristics with other people. And
Uh-huh.
I'm just wondering where that will go. Because I know that she's a psychiatrist. So
Right. Do you think it was an accurate characterization that she made of Toya to call Toya an energy vampire?
not particularly. I think that was a stretch.
Ah.
But I don't think that it would. I think that for purposes of that episode, when she went off on Eugene, in
Mm-hmm.
that moment, it's like, yes, she did suck the energy out of the event that they had.
Her own
It's
event.
like, yeah, out of her own event. It's like, you're
Uh,
supposed to bring the fun. You're the host. This is your party,
yes.
and then you are making everyone miserable here because
Yes.
of the way that you're talking to your spouse, the way that you're talking to other people, you're kicking people out of your home.
Oh
Like,
my
it's
goodness.
just like everybody came dressed up, ready to celebrate you. So I think in that moment, yes, she was an energy vampire. In general, I would not put that label on her.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think that's an accurate breakdown. I just know that the next party people are gonna think twice. Like the next Toya Eugene party.
Yeah.
Say, well,
Yeah.
what am I gonna walk into? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, they're like, let me keep my car in the front. Let me like put on my
Girl.
comfortable shoes. Like I may have to leave soon, so let me just
Mm-hmm.
be ready to get out of here,
No, it's
because you
absolutely
never
that.
know what she's going to do.
You don't know. I think well, hey, I was about to say she'll be on her best behavior next time, but I'm not gonna
Don't
go
hold
so
your
far.
breath.
I'm not gonna go so far. She seems to be able to like found a hook where she's like, yeah, I can say these ladies are attacking me, and she's using that as her shield to try to deflect. So I don't know how long that's gonna last,
Yeah. Yeah.
or how far down the road she's gonna take it. So we'll see.
Yeah, but people are starting to recognize, I don't think that it's just Mimi, Heavenly has always called out Toya on what she does and everything. But I think that as if people keep seeing her act like this, like they're
Yeah.
going to have no choice but to call her out. And hopefully that'll lead to some change behavior and she won't be so stubborn and like.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I think she needs a reality check.
I agree. I agree. And it's a consistent point. Like everyone said this was a lot. Everyone agreed that, she went too far.
Yes. Yeah.
That was
So we'll see. I mean, after that, we go to Simone talking to her sister.
I know. And I really like Simone's sister. She seems like she has like a calming presence. I love her voice.
Yes, I love her look. Like I thought, it's just so cute seeing both of them together and stuff because I don't remember seeing her sister. So
Mm-mm.
it was just, yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I can tell that they have a genuine relationship.
Yeah.
And as someone with sisters, it's like, okay, when I'm with my sister, it's just a vibe. Like we're always enjoying each other's presence. So I could
Yeah.
tell that she's like that with her sister.
Yeah, and I can tell they're best friends. Like they talk easily. They've obviously talked about the incident that happened at maybe a few nights prior, I guess, at that point, um, at Dr. Simone's house with Michael and Miles and that whole blow up with the husband as well. So I thought it was interesting how they juxtaposed Dr. Simone talking to her sister with Cecil talking to his brother
Yes. Very different conversations.
on the
They
same
were
topic.
handled on the
Different,
same
different.
topic, but it was just like handled so differently. And Simone, it sounds like she's been telling her sister about the issues that she's been having with Cecil. She said, when Cecil gets on my nerves, I can talk to my sister, and her sister, it's like she's listening, but you could just tell her sister's not even judging her. Like she just wants to hear her out. And I really appreciated that about seeing that their dynamic. Simone is so hurt. She's so hurt, and I feel so bad for her.
She is, yeah. She's in a situation where she feels underappreciated, and that the resources that she's added to the family are just like, well, it's for the family. It's like the family plot, and it is. It's like it's for the well being of everyone, but at the same time, this is her like her sweat, her labor that's gone into this. Like she should be able to enjoy. She should be able to plan for some of that for that money, right? For retirement or for things that she wants to do. She shouldn't be forever the giver.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
wearing, and that would be wearing on anyone.
Anyone. And that's why I was kind of shocked when Cecil was getting so passionate about standing in the financial aid line and
Girl,
not having to his son stand in the financial aid line. He didn't want his sons to struggle. I'm like, sir,
what did you do?
like
What
what are
did
you
you
doing to
do?
contribute to their well-being, to contribute to like them not having to stand in the financial aid
That's what I'm
line?
saying.
That is all Simone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what have you done standing alone to create a situation where your sons don't have to stand in the financial aid line? You said I will. You should have used that I drive. I would never let my kids and like figured it out. Yes, been the CEO or been the whatever it is you need to be bringing in that type of money. Why is it like you have all this passion for I and I would never let my kids do this, and then it's like we. Uh,
Yes, that's why I'm glad his brother called him out. He was like, you keep
did.
saying I, and this is a we situation. Like you have a
Mhm.
spouse. When the kids are gone, when they're grown, when they're out of the house, it's going to be you and her. Like you guys need to be good above all. And so I was glad. I think his brother sort of gave him a reality check. Not that he fully internalized it, or is he going, or he's going to take that
Mhm.
advice fully. But it's like his brother was telling him, like, you're bugging, man. Like you are, like, this is not okay how you're treating her or how you're like framing this, because he's acting like he's giving them everything, and he's like just so passionate about this. And I'm like, where is this coming from? I was
Yeah.
so confused.
It's like be passionate if you can contribute that level of. I just thought that was interesting how it's our money, and it is our money. If you're married and whatever is the fruit or the outgrowth of the marriage, financial resources, it's everyone's, especially if you don't have a prenup or a postnup. So
That
it's for
exactly.
everyone.
Exactly. Hmm.
But my goodness, it's like it strikes me the tone was very similar to Michael's tone. Just like
Hmm.
it's just very much it's like the what's the word I'm looking for, Liz? I'm thinking more like people just feel like they're so entitled. The entitlement of
Yes,
it all,
yes.
right?
Hmm.
So it continues to run through and I just feel like Simone is just alone.
She is. She is. There's no one to take, because I think that Michael is like Cecil, right? I mean, like you said, Cecil was mimicking how Michael sounded, but Michael got it from him because that's his father. But Miles is more like mild-mannered, like he's not going to stir the pot, like he's not going to get involved or whatever. So
Right.
even though he may feel like his mother is right, he doesn't really have like the guts to stand up or like take her side, or that's what it seems like, just watching their dynamic at the table a couple of episodes ago. So, yeah, I don't know where this is going to go, because how much more can she really take? She seemed like she was at her breaking point. She's crying a lot this
Mm-hmm.
season
Mm-hmm.
over all of the disrespect and just, lack of consideration for her. So, I don't
Yeah,
know.
she seems to be in a place where, she's contemplating the marriage. Because remember at Brandy's dinner party, birthday dinner, she said, who other than me doesn't want to be married? It's like she's in that end zone type of thoughts.
Yes.
And she's been
Yes.
there before. They filed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she had filed.
Mm-hmm. She had filed before. So I hope they don't get back to that place. I hope they can, really, I think therapy would be ideal here because you may have two people who are talking different languages, speaking different languages, not fully understanding each other, and they may need a neutral third party to kind of intervene and get them back on track because they're not on track right now.
No. And I think they've been married for over 20 years. So
29, I believe. A
so
lot
they've
of
had
time.
they have a lot of time that has lapsed, and the fact that she's feeling like this at this point, like this is such a buildup that it's going to take a lot of help for them to get to back to where they need to get. Because the fact that she's even getting on TV and discussing this,
Yeah.
and they're having conversations, she's like yelling at her kids on camera, things like that. It's like, no, this is a long time coming. And I don't know, I do feel like therapy may help, but I feel like it's gonna have to be some strong therapy or something
Uh,
really strong to really bring them back, because it just seems like they're very far gone at this point.
I think it's a lack of perspective, right? They just seem to not have a good handle on each other's perspective. And I think Cecil is really lacking here when it comes to Simone. He needs to put himself in her shoes. This lady spent her 20s and probably a good amount of her 30s busting it to get to where she's at. And she can't even like breathe. She has to think about paying so many other people's bills. There are kids, but kids should fly. They should, fly.
Yeah, I mean, these kids are like 25 plus now.
Yeah. It's not like I don't think they took 4 years to graduate college, right? It was a bit of a longer experience.
Yeah.
I'm sure she paid for all of
Yeah, and
it.
and their living expenses, their food expenses, all of the expenses that come with that, and then
Yeah.
they still have a place to come, like when they want to, they can just come home. She was doing their laundry sometimes, it's like she does a lot.
But again, you're creating a monster. Like you have to also. She has to take her self accountability as well because, why are you doing their laundry? Right? Why is their dad doing their laundry? Which she said very recently, or maybe it was like a few seasons ago actually. But it's more of a, these are your kids, but they need to fly. See, but you
Yes.
can't be upset when they don't fly because they're comfortable.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
I do hope that like parents that are watching this show, I hope they're like thinking, kind of reflecting, because like you
Yeah.
want to do what you can for your children, but like you really just want to avoid them having that entitled mindset or the mindset to
Right.
where like everything I deserve this, this is going to automatically happen to me. My parents are automatically going to do XYZ for me and no accountability or like self-motivation and things like that. Like that's a big deal. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's she. Simone, Dr. Simone has a boulder to roll up a hill, and I don't envy. I don't envy
Yes.
her that.
Yeah, she does. She definitely does.
Oh my goodness! But I hope they work it out. I think that they've proven they can. They've proven that they've done it before. They've worked it out. I think they'll work it out again. They just need to be able to like get a better view of each other's perspective. That may be a huge, handle, but I don't think it's impossible. They've done it before.
I don't think I don't know. I don't know if they fully like did it though before, It's like I think that they worked through certain things, but it's like there's things that are like temporary and then they resurface if you don't continue to do the work, right? So it's like this just seems like a roller coaster at this point. It's like
Mm,
they're going, they have just some high moments and then very low and it goes down so quickly,
yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, I wish them the best.
So the more I think about it, I wonder if it's more, just last words, last thoughts, a value difference that they may share when it just comes to money. Maybe one, feels money is more of a scarcity, or while the other is like, money comes, money goes. Those are two very, very, very different perspectives in one household.
Especially when you're not making any of the money. Like money comes and money goes. It's like, where is this money coming from? You know, it's
Right.
like it's coming from another person, and you're just like, okay, at that point, you have them on a hamster wheel, and they're just spitting out money. You know, it's like, okay, like you just keep expecting this to be an ongoing, ATM. Like what happens when that ATM stops, or when the hamster can't run on the wheel anymore?
Mm, 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 mm.
I don't know.
Therapy. I say therapy. I say
Yes.
therapy will be the answer. I advocate for therapy now, right now.
Right now.
Like, do it today.
Yes.
Okay, so after we had the, Cecil Simone dynamic, they moved over to Quad and King, who are getting ready for their third egg retrieval in Ghana.
Yes.
Seems to be like they're also having a perception issue as well, right? Where Quad is like full steam ahead and not maybe realizing that King is a little bit like maybe a little exhausted or a little fatigued by the process.
Yes. Exhausted and fatigued, but I'm wondering like why he's at that point at this point. It's like, where is this coming from? Like, do you want the child? Do you want to continue to go through this process? Do you want to be that supportive partner? I am not seeing it. But I'm trying to like give him the benefit of the doubt. I feel like I've been trying to give him that like
Mm-hmm.
for a few episodes now. But
Yeah.
it seems like he's like just kind of like whatever, like this is your thing. Like you want to continue doing this. I'll come along on the trip, I'll be present. But I'm like, some people they need a certain amount of support. Everybody has different needs when it comes to emotional support, when it comes to like what they need out of a partner and like how they want to be taught to. But certain things that he says just come across as dismissive to me.
Mm.
I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm just
Like what? Like what did
so
you say this episode? You felt dismissive.
when she's talking to him and he's like, so you want to keep going with this? Like it just seems like he's like tired of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can't get tired of something where it's like both of you really want it.
But
At
why
least
not? It's a human emotion.
yeah, I get that, but he's putting it out there too much for me. Like
Mm,
I feel like on camera he comes across as somebody that just this is her thing and I'm just being dragged along. Even
yeah.
the a couple episodes ago when we were talking about how they were interacting, like they were in the kitchen, talking
Yeah. A
about,
little weird. Yeah.
about IVF. It just seems like he's dismissive and he's not fully on board with the whole process. And maybe that's just what I'm gathering
Yes.
by
Yes.
that. I
Yes.
don't know, but it's like I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it.
You're not
But
feeling it.
I do hope that, everything works out. I want this all to work out. I
Yes.
know that she really wants this child.
She
She's
does.
really passionate about this. She would not be doing all of this work. This is a feat to have to, use the
Mhm.
needle, to have to do the egg retrievals, to have to fly across the world for this treatment, and I hope that it all works out for them. But I don't know.
Yeah, I hope it all works out, and I'm sure it will. I give them all the positive vibes. I don't know if I fully agree in that. I think there King seems to be the type of person to me that you can't necessarily make him do something.
Hmm.
She wanted him to Quad, that is, move into his house, into her house, and he was like, he has remained very stalwart in his rejection of that idea. It's just a
Yes.
solid no. So I don't think that is the type of person who is like, if he's not on board, that he will allow himself to be forced to do it, because he's also taken like very I would consider extreme steps in support of this, of her getting her child, of them getting having a child together. She mentioned in this episode that he has, stopped working. That's a lot. Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? I heard that too, and I was like, huh, this is interesting. Like, what do you mean you stopped working? Like,
Yeah. I'm like, it's serious if you stop your job. Like, but why? You're not planning to go on every day. I don't understand. I don't
I don't
understand.
understand either.
I don't even know what he does. Does he own like a car business or something? I feel like I heard that.
I heard, yeah, like a rental car,
Some
something.
I don't know, girl.
But they haven't really went into it as much, like what
No.
he does exactly. So I don't know, what job he would have to stop completely to do what they're doing, especially when he's not the one undergoing the treatment.
Yes.
But I found that to be interesting.
So like him asking her to weigh the practicality of it versus the, wanting to have the child, you felt like it was a little too much. Question mark.
Yeah, it just comes across like he's trying to put this on her.
Mm.
Like it's not a we project. It's like, okay, I'm doing this because of you. Like I'm going to go through with this because of you and because of your desire to be a mom, which
I think
that's a nice thing, but I kind of want to feel more like he is as invested in this process as she is, which I mean, I guess you're right. Like he does support her as in traveling with her, making sure that he's present. I,
but there's something lacking for you.
there's
You're like,
something lacking so much for me. I'm just
you're
like,
like the enthusiasm is not there, and
no, I
I
don't
need
see
it.
it. And I think,
But
maybe it's because he
yeah,
already has a child,
that's what I was gonna say. He already has a kid, and he feels
Yeah.
like and I thought it was really positive where he said, "Well, I have to look at it from your end that you haven't had children before, so it's a driving point for you." And then she did the same. She's like, "Well, yes, you've had children, and you have a child, so I understand why it may not be as a huge sticking point for you because been there, done that." I feel like no, he wouldn't do this if Quad wasn't in a space of wanting this. So I don't think that he would necessarily be pushing the ball if Quad wasn't. But I
And
don't
I
think that
think
makes
that's a
him less
problem
supportive.
too.
But I don't think
I
that makes him less supportive. You think?
I think he comes across as less supportive.
Could it
He
be his like
may,
personality that you're just
it
like,
could be. It
yeah,
could
because
be.
his
Maybe he
personality is
has a
like very,
lackluster, like, just kind of
yeah,
like subdued personality
yeah,
that doesn't come across well to me or to someone who
hmm,
would need more from their partner than that,
yeah.
or some people it's like they just won't relate to how he interacts with her, but it's perfect for her.
It
Maybe it's
seems to
perfect
be.
for her.
It seems to
So,
be. And I think it's
mhm.
his personality, just the way he talks, he emotes. It's very deadpan-ish. He's
Yes.
not giving you a lot of emotions or hand movement, or it's just coming right at you. You know, like I think his personality doesn't help with that.
No. No.
And
And
she seems to understand it. So hey, it
does
works.
she understand it?
Or she
Or
does a
does she
good
really
job.
want to be a mom?
Oh no, not a. I hope this doesn't turn into like a Candace.
Hey,
Oh,
yeah,
you.
yeah. I'm like, we've seen it before. That's why I'm like, I hope it doesn't,
Not
but
a
we
Kenya.
have seen it before,
Yeah.
yes, with Kenya, where it's like you will be with someone who may not give you the emotional support or stability or partnership that you desire, but they will give you that child. Like you'll have your
Right.
baby or your beautiful
Right.
baby, which I do want that for her. I want her to be a mom
Yeah.
because she really desires that. But I don't know. To me, it's like if something were to transpire between the two of them, I feel like I'd be like, oh, I saw the writing on the wall, And it's like,
Mm.
but I do wish them the best. I do wish them the
Yes.
best.
Of
Hmm.
course. Of
Yes,
course. But you see like some red flags. You see some red flags.
in
Yeah.
my opinion, yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's just like uh, it's 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 kind of seems like time really kind of went by for Quad, right? There was a huge period of time where, she was in a relationship where her husband at the time wanted a kid and she was like pushing it, pushing the ball on the road. She was happy with her dogs being her kids. And then now she's like here where it's like she really, really wants this. And I don't know. I don't know, Liz. I feel I can already tell it's weighing on King by what he said of the honeymoon period ending and straight into IVF, right? I think that was telling, to your point. I think that was telling. It's weighing on him. I think
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And
Ugh,
that can cause some resentment too. It's like you go from a super like high moment, which that's what he was alluding to as the honeymoon period. Like you guys are really amazing, like you're vibing, you're having a wonderful time. And then IVF is just so much work. Like it's
mhm.
so it to me when he said that, it was like we're going from a really positive moment to a really stressful moment, like very
Yeah,
quickly. And that can weigh a lot on relationships, and it's not like they live together, it's not like they're married, it's not like they have certain things that people would say may contribute to a better partnership. I don't know, but it's like they're still in the dating phase, like this is a lot.
how long do we know how long they've been together? Like since last
Maybe
season,
a couple
but
years, maybe, or
okay.
one or 2 years maybe.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a lot to go through.
To his point though, that is a lot. To go from like the high of, the honeymoon period to like it is stressful. IVF is a stressful process, especially if I don't know why she's in her third egg retrieval. I don't know if that means, you're accumulating a certain amount before you do IVF or you've had some failures, but it does sound like it is stressful. The injections, the hormones, the up and down, it's probably weighing on the relationship a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think that's real. And I don't think that's wrong to feel as long as you guys recover
Yes.
together.
Yeah, and I think that her story like echoes a lot of women's stories as far as like them wanting to have a child at the perfect time. Like they want to make sure that their career is in order, their relationship, like, their financial stability and all of that stuff is aligned. And it's just like you have to find that sweet spot in your life,
Mhm.
or else it feels like just super stressful. It feels like you're running out of time and stuff. And you can just see like the exasperation that she's dealing with on a daily basis. Like just the fact she broke down crying like that about how much she wants to be a mom. And I just think a lot of people can relate to her story in that way. So,
I agree with
yeah.
that. I agree with that. It's like women do have to balance that men don't have. They don't.
Right.
They
So
don't
they
go
may not
through.
feel it as much, which would, show up as them not being as like,
Hmm.
passionate about it. And maybe it's just because they just don't experience it like that. So,
Right. They don't have that race against time that we do. It's
yes.
not their reality. So yeah, yeah. It's yeah, I wish Quad and King the best with that. I hope that they're able to understand each other's perspectives and work together. And when they have this blessing, which is also another stressful moment, right? So you're moving from one stressful moment to another because like having a kid is going to be
Yeah,
that
the
sleepless
challenge.
night, that's a newborn, that's a lot.
And then pregnancy, like, it's like IVF goes into pregnancy. So it's like, that's a 9-month process right there, and then you're immediately going to go into the child. So I don't know. Like I'm wondering if he is emotionally ready for all of this. I don't
Oh,
know. I
that's
don't
a
know.
good one. Yeah, no, that's a good observation.
Yeah.
We
So
don't know
yeah,
because
I
he's
thought
already stressed. It's the
exactly.
you know
We're in the first quarter, like
the,
you know.
the camel's back is already creaking. That doesn't bode well. My goodness.
Yeah, it's not
But
a the most green flag to me. But
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I thought that was nice seeing the ladies support them. They showed like a clip of her having like a ceremony with the ladies where they had like, the pool, like they were all kind of
Mhm.
relaxing, getting her ready for her trip,
Yeah.
for her egg retrieval. I wish that they had shown more of that actually. I
Yeah.
thought
It's
that that
very
was cool.
positive.
Yes.
Showed us
Yes.
the positive stuff too, not just the fake bag event,
Exactly.
which was so messy on Dr.
That
Simone's
was
part.
so messy.
That was so messy. Like, what do you mean? Like, why are we doing this? You
I
know what
at
you're
first
doing.
thought it was Toya's event because I was like, this is so messy. Like it
That
just
would make
seems like an
sense.
event that Toya would put together. But Dr. Simone, I was like, where did this come from?
I know. And it made sense. And it made sense. Like that, for if Toya had put that on. But Dr. Simone was just in her bag, literally, for some reason. I don't know why. But that was a cool event. I liked, how did you feel about Contessa's outfit? And Heavenly's comment. Like Heavenly is too much. She was like, Contessa's a pretty girl. She just doesn't know what to do with it.
But to be fair, that outfit wasn't giving where they were at. Like I was very confused as to why like what was the occasion that you would think this would be appropriate for in
Right.
this setting? Like you guys are making purses, like
I
you look
know.
like you're going to like a cocktail hour, like,
Yeah. It didn't
and
work.
she is, oh my goodness, she looks great. Like she's a beautiful woman.
Oh, she is.
And like Heavenly said, she's a beautiful woman. And she just, I was like, I'm kind of
Doesn't know what to
confused.
do with it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm confused.
Oh my gosh. And then, of course, the producers, they come with the clips of different instances, occasions where she's like dressed in like, what are we wearing? What are we doing? Where are we
Yeah,
going?
she tends to do that a lot. Like even her birthday party when she had that theme of it was like the 70s,
Yes.
and then she changed it into like two other outfits, and one of them was like,
Beauty queen. It just didn't match the, I don't know what she was going for. It didn't match. And the thing on the head, that headpiece, I did not
yeah,
care for it. I did
I
not.
didn't care for it either. Yeah, so I'm kind of confused, but yeah, Heavenly will call you out really quick.
Yeah, Heavenly will definitely call you out. Her confessionals, I have to say, Heavenly's confessionals are so funny.
She adds a lot to the show. There are some people who are like, "Oh, Heavenly's too messy," whatever. But she does add. She kind of keeps the ladies like honest in a way. She'll call them out when they're doing something crazy.
She keeps them on their toes for sure. And her and Toya getting into it, like we said at the beginning of the episode, I think that was deserved in terms of like, there are things that Toya has said. I don't know if Heavenly needed to check her in that manner in the in that group text. Talking
That
about,
was inappropriate.
I
That
think
was
that was
inappropriate.
inappropriate. And then of course she tries to say, no, I was just coming from like a good place. But that was not the appropriate time or place to tell someone who just posted like a, happy Father's Day to all the fathers and to my husband and who's a great husband and father to our boys. And then what does Heavenly say? You should
I
go
was
tell
like, you should tell Eugene, like,
on camera.
yes, the
You said on
shade,
camera.
the shade. Oh my gosh.
That was insane. But honestly, like, I agree. I agree
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah. She
I
says like what people are thinking, but
mhm.
she's just so bold with it. Sometimes it just comes across so nasty.
She's
So
bold. She's bold. And when she said, what did she say? She was like, you root to your husband, and quite frankly, it makes us uncomfortable. I was like, ooh,
but she's right though.
she's not wrong.
Yeah.
But people don't like the delivery. I see like the woman like they're like, oh, that's real shade. But it's like let's look at, okay, I understand the delivery is harsh, but let's look at the not the messenger. Let's get the message.
Yes, yes. And the fact, and then she's talking about, I'm running for office, but I still can't, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't
I loved
care.
it.
The filter is still like not there, even though she's running
Non-existent.
for office and she like has a campaign going, like she doesn't care.
Non-existent. Non-existent. She's gonna say what she's gonna say.
Hmm.
How Heavenly wants to say it will be said. And I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you can only respect that, because like she's going to be herself. She's not like pandering to anyone. She's not going to
Mm-hmm.
change who she is just because
Mm-hmm.
she's running a campaign and she's like running for office. Like Heavenly is going to be Heavenly. So.
I agree. I agree.
hmm
My
But that
goodness.
purse making, I thought that that was a cool thing to do because I had never seen like a purse making class like that,
Yeah.
like in that manner and stuff. And Toya made a comment and she was like, "Oh, she was like, oh, should we put the leather on the outside and the inside?"
Oh
She's
my
like, because some of
God.
us may not know like what to do, and it's like, why do you care so much about purses?
She's focused on the wrong things.
You
That's
know?
what my issue is with Toya. I'm sorry. Like, Toya, you're focused on the wrong things. We're talking about generational wealth. Like, why are you talking about bags and shoes and clothes that you're gonna, like, probably like buy more next season? It's gonna be outdated, like in 6 months or something. It's
Yeah.
just like this cycle of, I don't know, want. She's stuck in a cycle of want.
Okay. I can definitely see that. Because she didn't grow up with a lot. And she has talked about that a lot on the show and just like, how growing up in Detroit and what she had to go through and everything like that. So, yeah, I could see that, because even getting all these different houses and trying to like keep up with the Joneses, and
Not enough.
there's nobody competing with her. It's like, who are you competing with other
And it's
than yourself, you know?
exactly. And it's never enough. And it's never enough. And it's never enough. Even like that Office Space. Remember the guys were talking and they were talking about it's when Dr. Damon you know, all the husbands were like at Contessa's house for that barbecue. Do you remember that
hmm
scene?
Yes, yes. And that was at Contessa's house.
That was at Contessa's house. Yes.
Oh, yes, you're
Yeah.
right.
Scott
You're
put that
right.
on. Yeah. Scott.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
and
and they look good. Like they had like some nice stuff. They had the
oh
meats
yeah.
on the grill and
Yeah. Yeah.
everything. And they
Yeah.
had
Got
yeah,
meat
that was
up
nice.
there. Yeah. It looked
Mhm.
good.
It did.
And then what is it? Eugene had to tell Scott, like, my husband, my wife, sorry, my wife, Toya, she hates the office space that you guys are, you're building your new practice. I was gonna rent a room, but it's next to the bathroom. So it's like, Toya hates it. So we're looking for other space. And then it goes to like a clip with a confessional with Toya and Eugene, and she's like, yeah, we're moving up just like the Jeffersons, like, it's like always up and onward, forward, more, more, more. She's not content.
She's
She's
not.
insatiable.
She's not. And that's another thing where I'm wondering how her sons will, shape up when they get older and like what type of perspective they have. Because you see how Simone's sons are. They both have two sons. Simone has two sons, Toya and Eugene have two sons.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering, I'm like, you guys see your mom like in this constant state of desiring materialistic things. She can never be satisfied. She treats your dad kind of crazy. I don't know. I'm just wondering how that will shape their perspective in the future.
And it
But
will. It has
mhm,
to,
it has
right?
to.
It has to. It's the building blocks of their formative years, like for good or for bad.
hmm
No parent is perfect. We're all, a little traumatized, but it's
But it's like you want to try to do better. You want to try to be, a good person and everything like that. To me, it just seems like Toya doesn't try. Like she doesn't try to improve. I don't know. Like she doesn't try to talk to Eugene in a nicer way. She doesn't try to like,
she
take
doesn't have to.
accountability for her actions. She doesn't try to be content with what she has. But you're right, she doesn't have to.
She doesn't have
So,
to. She's not in a situation where her hand is being held to the fire. It's I think Eugene has gotten the base, like the main points of what he wants out of a woman, and she's getting the main points of what she wants out of a man, and that's it. I don't know that it's gonna be much more than that. Like they've been married now for how many years?
yeah, a lot. Over 20, I think.
Yeah. And she doesn't seem inclined to change. She doesn't seem inclined to it.
Yeah. And she still acts like she's the one who's like kind of his
Surprise.
upgrade, you know?
Yes, she acts like she's the prize, and he allows it, and that's literally the vibe I get. I'm the prize, I'm gonna talk to you any type of way, and I'm gonna get whatever I want. I'm the
Hmm.
prize. I'm the prize. I'm
Oof.
the prize. I don't know if
Yeah,
you, huh?
I don't know, man. That's a lot. Like that's a lot to deal with. And
Uh,
that's a lot to see as a friend. And I think that's why the guys were calling him out. Like they're just like, yo, like we're sitting back watching this and they were like, yeah, Damon's wife wouldn't talk to him like that. Curtis' wife wouldn't talk to him like
that's
that.
embarrassing.
Scott's wife, but your wife is constantly disrespecting you in front of us all. And we just kind of have to sit back and take it all in. And, I'm glad that to me, I hope that that was a reality check for him because
Absolutely.
everybody's telling you the same thing. They can't all be wrong.
But did you catch his little deflection? He was like, well, the wives are coming at his wife. But it's
Hmm.
like she gives it as good as she gets it. So
Right, right, right.
we'll
No
see
one
what
is
he.
innocent in these situations. They
I know
all talk about each other.
they do, they do. But the issue is, it's like the blowback is coming on Eugene. It's coming home. It's not just like splattered, against other friends in the group. It's like, no, your partner is. It's like, outwardly not. It's outwardly, dumping on you, to use Jackie's husband's word. I always forget.
Yeah, yeah,
But
Curtis.
no,
Yeah.
Curtis, yeah, she's dumping on you, and it's like it was kind of said in like just like and you said Eugene, and they've told Eugene like you said that you're fine. This is your relationship, and that's you love her, and that's Toya, and that's just what it is. So we're not even here like to tell you to get out of something. It's more so like you've already established that this is your relationship. That's just
Hmm.
what it is.
Yeah, yeah. So, I'm hopeful that like he will take their advice and then Toya will take the advice from and as much as she doesn't want to take it from Heavenly and kind of just reassess where they're at. I hope that they have done some reflection. Maybe in the reunion, like they'll circle back to this and she'll
Mm.
like give him a real apology. I don't know what to expect, but something has to give because this is ridiculous.
I think this was one of the defining moments of the season. I don't think Toya is going to get away from this one. This is something that's going to be a fire for her come reunion time.
Yeah.
100%. This was really bad. She really showed herself in a terrible light. And I think as much as she's going to try to deflect, they're going to hold her to it. Her feet to the
Hmm.
fire on it. It's not going to be good.
They need to. I think they need
Yeah,
to.
it was, I'm sorry. Toya was my girl, and she still is my girl, but this was like a lapse in just being the hostess.
Yeah,
Not good.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm glad that people are like talking about it and like just not allowing her to just get away with this because it was too much. It was
Yeah,
too much.
I agree. All right. Any takeaways, Liz, from this episode?
So takeaways from this episode. Okay, if you want to have relationships with people, then you have to be willing to listen to what they're saying about you. Like
Mhm.
if you want to have friendships with people, if you want to have relationships, whether it's romantic or even work relationships, if someone's giving you feedback and you're constantly getting the same feedback, you have to allow yourself to receive it. And I think that a lot of times it's like these ladies, they take a lot of actions, they make a lot of statements against each other, or they'll make a lot of statements about other people's characters, but they don't like it when people say things about them. And so I would say just if you're going to have relationships with others, then you have to be willing to accept critique, whether it's positive or negative, and, you know, take it in and figure out how you want to use that critique. But you have to be willing to hear other people's perspective about who you are, what you're doing, your actions. So yeah, that'll be
Yes.
my takeaway.
Yes, that's a good one. My takeaway, honestly, it takes me to this song by Kanye. It's called Paranoid. It's on his album 808s and Heartbreaks.
Hmm.
So it's like it goes like it's like there's a line that says like, "Baby, don't worry about it," and it's
Yes.
like, like you're worried about the wrong things, the wrong
Yes.
things. I think Toya's worried about the wrong things.
Yes. Absolutely.
You're
That's spot on right there. Spot on.
like you're worried about bags, you're worried about cars and houses. Like, let's talk about like what Heavenly said. Let's talk about portfolios, assets, land, college tuition. Let's talk about things that generate generational wealth, right? Like, let's figure out how to get ahead, not just keep up with the Jeffersons. Like, in the long term, and for our kids and for our kids, Come on. There's more to life than just the sugar rush of the now, of the next new thing. So tonight I give it to Heavenly. Heavenly, you got it. You got my vote tonight. I don't live in the state of Georgia, so I can't vote for you. But I think that you made an excellent point. Don't worry about the small things. Who cares about a bag if the leather inside, leather outside? It's a deflection. But
Yeah.
overall, there are bigger things to worry about. And that's where I leave
Yes. I agree. I agree. Great takeaway. Yes, worry about the wrong thing. That song is gonna be stuck in my head.
Oh my gosh. But I'm so happy. Like, we had a great it was a great episode. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I saw something with Quad crying. I don't know why she was crying, but we're gonna see more.
Yeah, we're going to see more. I don't know. I have my thoughts on what it is, but I'm waiting for next week to see what it is. So,
Well,
mhm.
we will be here next week talking about episode 6. So don't forget to follow us, guys. Like, subscribe, click that bell notification so you know when a new episode drops. And we'll see you next week on Strictly Reality.
Reality. Bye.
Bye.